Today's featured guest is world-renowned speaker, author, and entrepreneur, David Meltzer. David's life mission is to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. Stay tuned because you are not going to want to miss this interview. Hey, David, and thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me on.
Please, thank you for being on. So the way I start is with a game. Are you up for a game?
I'm up for anything you want.
Okay, so we're going to do this game, and then I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions for the viewers. The game is about 60 seconds. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. Rapid fire, you're going to answer them, and if you finish all the questions in 60 seconds, I'm going to make a donation to your favorite charity.
You got it.
Okay, you ready to start? What's your favorite sport to watch?
Football.
Okay, is it wrong for vegetarians to eat animal crackers?
No.
Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Milk.
Favorite cuisine?
McDonald's.
Coffee or tea? Wow, okay, coffee or tea?
Tea.
Smoothies or milkshakes?
Smoothie.
Hard shell or soft shell taco?
Hard shell.
Okay. Breakfast or no breakfast?
Breakfast.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Who would play you in the movie of your life?
John Lovitz.
Oh, I love John Lovitz. Favorite movie?
Shawshank Redemption.
That's a great one. Al Pacino or Robert De Niro?
Al Pacino.
Glasses or contacts?
Neither. Contact.
Lucky you. Dress up or dress down?
Up.
Okay. Gold or silver?
Gold.
Favorite article of clothing?
Shirt.
Favorite president?
Lincoln.
All right. Favorite cell phone?
Mine, PCE phone 99.
Favorite feature?
Feature?
On you? Eyes, nose, mouth.
Who knows? Playbook.
Favorite card game or board game?
Pictionary.
Okay. Online shopping or shopping in the store?
Online.
Spend or saving? Save?
Save.
I like that one. Leader or follower?
Leader.
Who inspires you to be better?
My wife.
Get help or good help? Give help?
Give help.
Glass half empty or half full?
Full.
Biggest pet peeve?
Unhappiness.
Okay. You won.
Did it? I thought I was done. I thought it beeped. I thought I was dead.
No, you got it. You got to tell Jake to send me your favorite charity, and I'll make a donation in your name.
I love you. Thank you.
No problem. All right. So you ready for the questions?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're the founder, owner, and CEO of Sports One Marketing. What is Sports One Marketing, and how does it differ from other like-minded businesses?
You know, it's a unique business that evolved from Lee Steinberg Sports and Entertainment, where I was the CEO of the sports agency, and where I realized it wasn't about representing the athletes. It was about the power of what the athletes' relationship could do. And so using athletes as bug lights in order to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun, I created a bug light business that has evolved from sponsorship, hospitality, VIP, types of advertising and marketing to full media company, specifically still today to attract people in a variety of different industries to make money, help people, and have fun.
What else is there? You covered it all. That's awesome. And I understand that, I think you said Lee Steinberg, the company you originally worked for, Jerry Maguire was based on one of those.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lee inspired the movie himself, was in the movie. Partner
cool.
Warren Moon, Troy Aikman, a lot of the Lee guys were there as well.
That's awesome. That must have been a lot of fun for you to be there.
I was after, so I get all the benefit except for being in the movie. And some people think I am Jerry Maguire, and that gets really far-fetched.
With Jerry Maguire or Tom Cruise?
Oh gosh, that would be really, somebody would have to drink a lot.
I'm just teasing.
John Lovitz maybe though.
It's a good one. I wouldn't have thought of that, but once you said it, I'm like, oh, I could see that. What was the impetus for you starting Sports Marketing One?
The impetus was Lee was going through some personal issues himself with an addiction, and we were looking for how to spin off the assets that we had, the value that we had in order to help people. And Warren approached me in order to co-found the company and work with him in order to effectuate the plan of how do we use all these great relationships, all the direct contact we have to the biggest events and people and businesses and sports. We don't want it to go to waste. So we built this platform to create abundance.
And you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What'd you say?
I said, luckily.
Yeah, but I'm sure there was no luck involved in that. That's hard work.
Attention plus intention equals coincidence. That's what happened.
I like that. I haven't heard that one. Your brand is about making a lot of money, helping a lot of people, and having a lot of fun, which is what you just kind of said. Tell me about the fun.
Yeah, so for me, I love sports. And so to surround myself with the greatest sporting events, entertainment, we literally, when we first started the company, we had so much deal flow, so many people that we could address. We actually guided the business by what events we wanted to attend ourselves. So we picked out the Super Bowl and the Pro Bowl and the Masters and Kentucky Derby, the
That's
Breeders'
awesome.
Cup, all these cool events, because we knew that would be a great backdrop. Now, everything we do, one of the things when I talk about making a lot of money in abundance, everything we do, and we learned this from Lee Steinberg, has to have a charitable cause or purpose tied to it. So, including answering your questions, you lived up to my expectation by tying in a charitable purpose or a cause to answering questions. I did the same thing with Warren. Everything still today that I do has a downstream that has to benefit some sort of charitable purpose or cause.
It's so important because it's so much, everything is so much bigger than just me or you. And there's a bigger purpose here. And we really have to stay focused on that. But one thing that I think the viewers, your viewers, mine, just so many people out there don't realize is your work can be fun. And they feel like they just have to go do the grind and go home. And I like your platform. I like what you have to say because you combine the two. And look, you chose everything. I mean, what events did you just say? Those are amazing events. Super Bowl, Kentucky Derby, all those things are so fun. And then you made it work. So I really like that.
Well, I think
Um,
something interesting about that too is that people are under the misnomer that I love what I do. I learned to love it, and so I made it happen. And so, my whole career, my wife used to always say, "You're so lucky because you always love what you've done." Well, I was a millionaire right out of law school selling legal research online. Nobody on earth would love selling I was standing in phone booths in Indiana with a roll of quarters, freezing with a hole in my shoe and sock, but I loved it. And I think that's important today because I'm trying to tell people today, we're in the middle of a miracle. And unless you can understand and see and smile through struggles and understand the miracles that are created by the lessons that we're going to learn in the unification and the opportunity to unify that is today, then we're missing the point. And I hope a lot of us gather around the greatest disease of all time, happiness, the one that spreads just by witnessing it.
I love that. I mean, and even today with the coronavirus, which we'll talk about at some point, we can find happiness in this. We can find peace, and we're evolving into something better. And yes, there's tragedy and people are passing away and it's horrible, but there's also something better out there for us that we're working our way into. So I'm with you. And I agree with you also, like doing videos, I'm so self-conscious. It's awkward for me. You have to learn to embrace it and love it. It's not like you just start and you're so happy and this is amazing and I'm doing my favorite thing. Right, exactly.
And people laugh at you, make fun of you, ask you why you're doing it, and then they applaud you like I'm applying Pam right now.
Exactly, exactly. And you just got to keep staying true to yourself, which obviously you're doing. It's all about gratitude. What is one thing you're grateful for?
Oh, my wife. That's easy. I blessed, and it all starts with the person who I share my life with. I can barely talk about her without choking up, and it's because of my journey. Like having the right people and the right ideas around you, somebody that knows everything about you and loves you anyway, somebody that allows you to have a strong signal, to understand your spectrum, a sounding board that's gonna, my wife is so honest and critical, in it. Sometimes it hurts because I love and appreciate her so much. But by far, I'm most grateful for my wife.
And so how long have you been together?
23 years,
Married or completely together? Like
completely
from
together.
when you met. Yeah, 20
Oh,
years.
well, we met in the fourth grade, and
Oh, no way.
she hated me. Yeah, I had my best friend ask her to go steady in the sixth grade camp, and she said no. She embarrassed me, told me to ask her herself, and I threw an egg at her. And back then they didn't have good hair products, so she had like Rosanna Dana hair, really frizzy hair, and I pegged her in the back of the head with an egg. And so it took me years to redeem myself. And
Yeah.
but like I said, even like people, you have to be grateful for your health, but I would not have my health but for my wife, in a variety of different ways, including when she told me, when I asked her, when I recovered, I lost everything in 2008. millions and millions. And I recovered and asked my wife, what can I do for you? You're the reason I'm here, and so happy and healthy and wealthy again. And she's like, just take care of yourself, because if you take care of yourself, you'll take care of others. And it shifted my paradigm of being healthy before my family, being healthy before my business, before the activity I get paid for. So in today, it's never paid off more, the understanding of being healthy. I spend a minimum of an hour a day on my health. When I say that, I mean I'm focused in on, I pay attention to, I give intention to the coincidences I want to be healthy and happy.
And I am sure that she'd be saying you had the same influence over her.
I
Um,
hope.
I'm sure she would. And fourth grade, that's such a long time. That's
I know.
amazing.
First girl to drive by my window when I moved out from Akron, Ohio, on a skateboard. And even in fourth grade, she caught my eye. I can't tell you in the fourth grade, I was thinking I'd marry her. But by
Like
sixth grade, I wanted to date her.
that's special. I mean,
Yeah,
that's really, really cool. So she sounds awesome.
she is,
Yeah. I mean, we all need that other person to balance us out. And that's what she sounds like she is for you.
for
And
sure.
I agree with you. Health is key. Health is key for us, but you want to show up for everyone else. That's one of your things. And you can't do that without being super healthy. So, all right. So this is a two-part question. What does an average day look like for you? And how has this changed since quarantine?
So an average day, I always have had two routines because I travel so much. But my average day, wake up at 4, meditate for 20 minutes, 10 minutes to get ready, get right to the gym, spend a minimum of an hour at the gym, come home. I spend an hour doing research, could be writing, being more interested than interesting, always reading Think and Grow Rich, The Course in Miracles. 6:30 to 7:30, I'm with my family getting ready. I do make breakfasts and lunches for everyone. I have 4 kids, 2 at college, 1 in high school, and 9-year-old son. I then do coaching calls on the way to work at 7:30 to 8:15. Executive coach, and really enjoy that. I learn more than I teach. I get to work in the study session. By the way, I'm a student in my calendar, so that I execute on what I have planned, what I don't have planned, and my sleep for the next night. Uh, I work till 4:45, or I have activity I get paid for 4:45. I get back in the car. I do 3 more coaching calls on the way home. From 5:30 to 7:30, everything goes off in my house. No TV, no phones, no emails, anything, all family. And then 7:30 to 9 o'clock is study time, free time, family time, whatever I decide. I call it optional time. 9 o'clock, I put my 9-year-old son to bed, and I spend the rest of the time trying to stay awake with my wife till 11. Sometimes I make it, sometimes I don't. People ask me on average what time I go to bed. I would say 9:45 to 10 is my average what I make it to. Sometimes it's 8.
Get up really
Other
early and
times,
go full day.
yeah, and I do. I run my day to run out of energy and to wind myself down. I have a sleep coach. I study sleep. I understand the importance of that regenerative activity, not just physically regenerating myself, but clearing the connection of my subconscious and unconscious mind. Now, how has it changed? I am in an adaptable routine that's based off of my values. First of all, I'm in quarantine, so that's changed. My adaptable values go like this: minimum of 1 hour a day on my health. So that's prioritized over anything, any interview, anything with my family. First thing on my calendar, it is not going to be moved. Then it's a minimum of 30 minutes with my wife, 30 minutes with my 9-year-old son, a minimum of 2 minutes a day with my teenage daughters. Today's my 21-year-old's birthday. She
Oh,
still
happy
promised
birthday.
she still promised me 2 minutes. I just, so you know, I asked for 5. They gave me 2. I spend a minimum of 1 minute a day calling my mom to tell her 4 things. Number 1, I'm happy. Number 2, I'm healthy. Number 3, I love her. And number 4, I appreciate her. And then I execute as a student of my calendar throughout the rest of the day. Once again, studying what I have planned for the day with a lens of productivity, how much value I can provide, a lens of accessibility, how accessible am I to people like you, Pam, and others, and how am I accessing what you want. The hardest question you asked me in the rapid fire was giving or receiving, because I think they're one. And I don't want to not inspire people to be of value and of service, because I know the universe will fill that void, but just as many people have a problem receiving. So I plan that white space in my calendar. I plan my sleep. And once again, the adaptable routine that goes on today, I do wake up at 4 o'clock still, but my day's more off of values. And I think it's important in a compressed time and a compressed uncertainty stage in which we are in. And you can study history when we've been here before. You have to have some sort of routine, and you have to do a daily inventory of your values because things happen so fast. If you do a daily inventory of your values, you'll have the foundational principles to keep clear, balanced, and focused and confident in the future. And those will be really the true attributes of the mindset you need in order to be happy.
Well, and it's all about alignment. So values keep you aligned. I'm so with you on values. I want to ask you something from the very beginning that you said, because I know at least my viewers or followers have a lot of trouble with this. And I'm a big practitioner of meditation a lot of time, but people just, the word scares them. So what's one tip you could say about meditation and how to get started?
Yeah, meditation is a practice coming from someone that was anti-meditation. I got tricked into meditating because the lady that told me to meditate told me she could raise my awareness. I wasn't interested until she told me, if I raise your awareness, you'll know when to buy or sell. I'm like, oh, I better learn to meditate. So that motivation helped me. Here's the key to meditation. Find your highest frequency and do it every day. 2 minutes of meditations a day is worth more than 2 hours on a Saturday. All meditation is finding your higher vibration, your higher frequency, giving you a baseline for the day so you know when you're in truth consciousness at center, not in the ego-based consciousness that causes interference, shortages, voids, and obstacles in your life, allows you to travel or accelerate in the wrong trajectory. The biggest thing I can tell you is meditation is like golf. It is a practice. So when you start, if you feel like you're slicing and hooking the ball, missing and swinging and missing, that's cool. That's exactly what meditation is. So just stick to it every day. Learn that as a practice. Start with 2 minutes a day or 1 minute. You can build up. It's just like jogging. You don't want to go a half marathon the first day. You'll never run again. So 2 minutes a day, lower the bar. Think about it as just finding your higher self, your highest frequency, and it will evolve for you. You can use Headspace as an app that'll talk you through. YouTube has tons of guided meditations. Put on some music if you want. But if you don't, and you like walking your dog to your frequency or swimming, do what you need to do, but
Do it.
find that, and that's meditation.
I'm with you, and it's the consistency because people give up so quickly. I knew I was going to love you.
I love you.
Okay. What are some of your favorite coping skills to deal with this quarantine?
Yeah. So for me, it's stop, drop, and roll. So when we're in the ego-based consciousness, and let me define that for you. It's a need to be right, the need to be offended, the need to be guilty, anxious, frustrated, angry, fearful, inferior, superior, separate. All of these feelings are going on right now. Your mind and body and soul are on fire. When you're in that ego separation, your mind, body, and soul are on fire. So my mom taught me, if you're on fire, stop, drop, and roll. So what I do is when I feel like I'm on fire, and that's what I go off of, a feeling that, man, I'm pissed or whatever it is, I'm scared, this is fire. When I feel that way, I stop immediately. And I think to myself, why do I feel this way? And I try to understand that. I bring myself back down or up to the higher frequency, whichever way you want to think about it, if you meditate or not. I go to the highest frequency, the baseline for the day. And then when I get there to a sense of peace, of neutrality, of calmness, then I roll in the right trajectory back to the values that I had at the beginning of the day that I put in my inventory, back onto the objectives that I have planned or the objectives that I don't have planned. But so many people, they get into the ego-based consciousness, and it's worse than just going in the wrong direction. When you're on fire, you accelerate in the wrong direction, and then we have farther to get back. So go ahead, let's help ourselves not have a great distance to go back from. There's not going to be a new normal. The normal is always a new normal. We're always changing. It's just that uncertainty has found itself closer to the time frame in which we call the present. It's a compressed time frame because things are changing so quickly. So go ahead, stop, drop, and roll. Find your higher frequency, your center, your peace, and roll in that direction.
That is such a great tip. I mean, and that's a big one. It like covers everything. So I love that. Um, who's been your biggest influence and why?
Ooh, my mom. Although I read Think and Grow Rich, A Course in Miracles, Bob Proctor, Jack Canfield, Wayne Dyer, all of them are great influencers. Sorry to tell you, I'm old school, mama's boy. My mom has been extraordinary influence. At a young age, she drove me to be focused on making money so I could buy her a house and a car. And then after I went through my quantum transformation, my shift in the paradigm of life, she taught me with equal vigor to pursue my unconditional love, to be able to live my life with unconditional love and truth. And I have a greater appreciation for what I thought, especially my mom and my wife, that I used to always say, oh, they don't get it. I make more money in one day than my wife and mom make in a year. Like, these are the things that moron used to say over here. And now, if I could hold a candle to either of their ability to display and live in truth and unconditional love, I will be a much better person.
And that is the hardest thing to do and the end goal. But we're also, we've created so many walls around our heart, and we don't want to let ourselves be vulnerable because, fear of rejection, pain, hurt. But even aspiring to that is so great. And I love Bob Proctor too, by the way. He's awesome. What are some of your favorite books, podcasts, and tools besides my podcast and yours that have supported your journey?
Course in Miracles, I read every day. Think and Grow Rich, I read every day.
Oh,
I like Joe Osteen, not in a religious sense. I think his messages are super strong, and he's one of the best performers. He also understands spectrum. Gary Vaynerchuk on the entrepreneurial side,
yeah.
huge Gary fan and friend, and he's a mentor, and I help him as well. So those are some.
Uncle on. Do you know Crazy Russian Uncle?
Oh yeah.
He's so funny. He was just on the podcast. He's so funny.
Oh, right on. And just plus, I am a seeker, and so what that means is I seek what I want, and I seek superpowers in the people that I want. I don't seek for things in people that I don't want. I seek situational knowledge from people that sit in a situation I want to be in. When I say seek, I progressively, aggressively go after what I want in those people, ideas. So I'm consistently reading I just read a book Garen Jones wrote, Change Your Mindset, Change Your Life. I probably go through mostly audiobooks. I'm not after law school, I don't like to actually read.
Awesome.
I don't even write. I write so many books, I don't even really write them. I record myself.
Oh, I know what you mean, yeah.
If I never read another book, I'd be happy.
Have you read or Audible The Power of Positive Thinking by Vincent Norman? Yeah, okay.
Great book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen to 2 and 3 times speed, by the way. I'm a super psycho. So the problem is I do so many interviews that sometimes I end up speaking at 2 or 3 times speed. And my wife's like, slow down. Stop listening to that book.
Energy. I get it. I can follow you. I'll track. What inspires you? What's your purpose, your big why?
My why is to empower over 1 billion people to be happy through the enjoyment of the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of my potential. If I can enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of my potential and empower other people like you, Pam, that can impact, if you can impact 1,000 to impact 1,000, and I can find 1,000 people like you in my lifetime, I will impact over 1 billion people in my life to be happy. It's a collective conscious, and it is overwhelming to me that that's a reality of my life. And I live in radical humility. I don't think I'm anything special, but I just have figured out the math of being able to really potentially exponentially grow happiness. And I am laser focused on enjoying that pursuit.
If there's anything I can do to support that, I'm always here. Feel free to reach out. And I mean, that is a lofty, amazing goal. And I think we've been raised for so long, and I talk about this in my videos all the time, to be unhappy, to feel badly about ourselves, to have low self-esteem, to do the grind. And why? Like, what is the purpose of that? So I'm here to wake people up with you.
Yeah, seek the superpowers, man. I would tell you, my whole life changed, even in my own marriage, right? I joke around, I've been married 23 years. You would not want to be married to me the first 10. I wasn't who I am. And I would look for the things I don't want in my marriage. And I'd look for the things I don't want in me. And I'd look for the things I don't want in other people. And now I seek their superpowers. When you come home and say to yourself, I'm so blessed to have such a patient, beautiful, wonderful, wise wife, that's what you get. When you come home and say, oh my God, I'm in so much trouble because I'm late and she's not going to appreciate me working for our family and doing, that's what you get. So that's a simple example. Seek what you want. And it's so easy to find the best in people. And happiness is a disease that spreads by witnessing. When you find the superpowers within people and appreciate and acknowledge their superpowers, they're going to be happy and other people are going to be happy, and happiness strengthens our immune system. There's nothing wrong with happiness.
It's all about the ripple effect.
For sure.
Okay, so in the current climate, with the pandemic we're living through, what is your best advice for our audience? Just overall advice.
Culture and cash. Know your values and be cognizant of cash. If you got to stay in business, I would say business first, then employees, because there's no employees without a business. So keep your culture, your values straight, and make sure you identify your cash. Stay in business.
So this is a good follow-up. What tips do you have for small businesses during this time, other than
Well,
staying in business?
I believe understanding the capabilities that there's strength and weaknesses when you move them. So the advantage of a small business is you're flexible, right? You can move on a dime. So what I would do is look at the capabilities that you have and see how synergistic and supplementary they are to the businesses that are doing well now, the businesses that are maintaining right now, and then utilize those superpowers, those capabilities that are synergistic and supplementary to take advantage of businesses that are not doing well, that you may find opportunities to buy oversold companies, buy oversold product, and sell them when they're overbought. This is a simple way to make money, help people, and have fun.
So smart. So simple and so smart.
No experience. I have paid millions in dummy tax to learn that. You don't have to pay the millions I've paid. Take it from Uncle David.
Are you okay with time? Okay, cool. You have given us a path to success in your book and videos. What's the number one reason people fail?
Quit. They stop. Look, everybody, there is no failure if you don't stop. The only reason why you fail is literally you stop. So look, the more skills you develop, the better knowledge that you have. And if you have what I have and most successful people have, that a desire to must be what you can be, you're not going to stop. So the only failure happens is when you stop. So don't stop. Money doesn't disappear. It's just slowing down right now. Let's speed it back up. Nobody should be stopping right now. You can pivot. The more skills, desire, and knowledge that you have, the more options you have to pivot. I have never failed. I've just pivoted 16, 17 times, sometimes in a day, but I'm the king of pivoting. I've gone bankrupt. I've lost over $100 million on paper. I've lost stuff that most people dream of owning. I don't ever think that I failed. As long as I've learned the lesson from it and pivoted and I'm still moving, I haven't failed.
So keep going forward.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that too. So what does success look like to you?
Always success to me is learning the most lessons that we can by enjoying those lessons. Life is about lessons, and they keep on coming to you learn them. And they're going to result in pain when you haven't learned them. Lessons, lessons, lessons. For me, the success of my life is how many lessons I've learned and how many people I've impacted by learning those lessons.
And you have to be an open person to be able to learn those lessons. And yeah, that's one thing that I think that people are so afraid all the time, but if they just open up and they flow with it, it'll all be okay. What's the best compliment you've ever received?
Somebody the other day gave me one, and it made me cry. They said, "Oh my gosh, you remind me of Mr. Rogers."
Oh, that's so nice.
I was like, wow, like the most arrogant, egotistical, money-driven young man has somehow, by 52, just one person out there identifies me with Mr. Rogers, who I think is one of the kindest, nicest people. So I radical humility is my goal. So that was huge.
Amazing. That's a huge compliment. What was the hardest part of your journey, either personally or professionally?
Personally, nothing's been hard professionally. Personally, letting down my wife. The day when she told me she wasn't happy, threatened to leave me, man, biggest disappointment in myself. And it took me, a little bit of time to figure it all out. But I thank her all the time for being honest. Most women would have continued to let my behavior, because of the financial situation we were in with cars and houses and golf courses and ski mountains and nannies living in the house, they'd have been too afraid to say anything. And she kicked my ass.
You were too important to her.
Yeah.
That didn't matter as much, which is I really appreciate your candor. It's
Well,
hard to talk about this stuff. Maybe it's not for you, but it is for a lot of people.
it's
So
practice, trust me.
I appreciate you being so open.
Thank you.
So you've spoken openly a few times about going bankrupt and losing everything, and I already had a question about that since I did my research. How did that experience help you in becoming who you are today?
Um, I'm one of the few people I bottomed out 2 years before I went bankrupt. So it was really interesting because it's really helped me today because I was prepared to lose everything. And when I say that, I mean I'm emotionally prepared to be gracious about it, meaning what are the lessons I was supposed to learn, but being truly a positive perspective, forgiving. I learned for the first time to forgive myself. I learned for the first time I don't care if people like me for who I am. I'd rather them hate me for who I am than like me for who I'm not. I learned accountability and the power and peace of accountability, asking myself every day, what did I do to make this happen? What am I supposed to learn from it? What did I do? I wasn't in blame, shame, or justification. And then truly learning inspiration. That the three-step process of inspiration, motivation is temporary. Inspiration, that I am always connected to the unbelievable source of energy, light, love, and lessons at all time. And my job is to get and clear that connection, to suck as much of that energy out into myself, add value to it, appreciate it, add value to it, and then clear the connection through a strong signal, a wide spectrum, and a clear message to allow my light to shine so that others can allow their light to shine. So that process is what I took away from losing everything. That three-step process that I always thought that I was in control, that I made everything happen, and the world came for me. No, it doesn't come for me. It's a world of more than enough. It comes through me for everyone.
You're really awesome. Honestly, you are. I mean, you're saying that everything that I feel and believe, and you're saying it from a place of having gone through a lot of adversity. And even you said like 10, I forget how many years ago, 15 years ago, the person you were for your wife isn't the person you are today. You've grown and evolved. It's just so awesome. So I want to give you that.
Thank you.
Um, when you're in a slump professionally or personally, which I can tell you kind of have a high level, high energy, high vibration, so it's probably not that often anymore, but what are some things you do to get out of it?
So I give, like, anyone that every single time, man, I go help somebody. I even in this closet that I'm stuck in, if I'm feeling a little bit trapped and I'm a high energy person, I'll sift through my phone and grab somebody I haven't talked to and literally just say, hey man, I miss you, I love you, I appreciate you. Is there anything I can do to be of service or help you? And I automatically, it puts me back. I make so many mistakes every day. I still have the same feelings I've always had of anger, frustration, anxiety. Every once in a while, I catch myself overselling, lying, back end selling, cheating, and it's quantum in my nature. Only difference is I am so hyper aware that I catch myself, stop, and I go ahead and I'm just shortening the amount of time of that interference in my life. But it happens every day. I'm on the same journey as everyone else. I'm practicing the same things as everybody else. I just have shortened the amount of time that I'm in that state. Uh, and I'm the biggest hypocrite in the world because of it. Trust me, everyone's a bunch of snapshots. You find my worst snapshot in the day, I am not Mr. Rogers. They call me the ferocious Buddha because every once in a while you get a snapshot of the ferocious guy, the old ego guy, but hopefully the Buddha's overcoming the ferociousness.
Definitely, and that's normal. I
Yeah,
mean, how could you be completely
I
have
wouldn't
gotten
be
rid
here.
of? Yeah, exactly. You're human.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about you is you're self-aware. And self-awareness is key. I mean, without that, you can't move forward. So, what do you wish you had known when you first started out?
Humility. I wish I would have known money does not buy love or happiness. It allows you to shop, and that radical humility between the currency, the object of energy that we call money that we put into the flow to buy things, and faith, which is a currency of the universe, that there has to be this blend, and the blend doesn't occur unless you're humble, that there's a higher source of energy, light, lessons, and love above you, and that you're not in control. And it's so counterintuitive to allow things to happen because I'm hyper aggressive. I'm ferocious Buddha. I'm a ferocious seeker of allowance. And most people that are listening, I guarantee at least 87% of you could not even understand when I tell you that I'm seeking allowance, that I'm aggressively seeking, I'm a ferocious Buddha seeking peace. They don't go together, but in my strange enlightenment, that allowance is so key.
Yeah, I mean, you're combining two different worlds, sort of, but you're making it work, which is cool.
Working on it. Yeah.
Yeah. In all the years of your career, do you have a memory or experience that you hold close to your heart?
I do. When I was 30 years old, my dad, for my birthday, I wasn't close to my father. Uh, he had left when I was 5. He was my hero, but he wrecked my heart at 10 because he forgot my birthday and lied to me and told me he didn't forget my birthday, but didn't believe in birthdays. So I immediately realized my mom was right. He was a liar, a cheater, a back end seller, manipulator. At 30, he gave me a jacket. And I was so excited because that jacket meant that he was coming, like he understood me and he was proud of me. He never told me he was even proud of me. I was a multi-millionaire. And I opened the jacket, put it on, it fits perfectly. He tore out all the lining and pockets. So I called him. I was so aggravated. I was like, why would you do this to me? Why are you punishing me? I thought we could, have a closer relationship. You don't get it, Dad. He goes, oh, I get it. He goes, I didn't give it to you to wear. He goes, I gave it to you to hang in your closet every day to remind you that you're just like me. And at that time, I wasn't ready to hear that. And so I told him, I'm nothing like you, that you're a liar, cheater, manipulator, overseller, back end seller. I hate you and I never want to talk to you. And I hung that jacket in my closet. And when my wife, as I told you, I came home at 5:30 in the morning after being at the Grammy Awards. I was running Lee Steinberg. I was the everything you could imagine I thought I was. And she told me she wasn't happy and to take stock in who I was and what I wanted to become, or she was leaving. I was pissed. I woke up the next morning even more aggravated and angry, and I was going to get a divorce. In my arrogant ego mind, I'm like, she doesn't appreciate me. How can she not be happy? I have all these cars, this house, this nanny. I could list them out all day long, what we had. And I was literally about to call a lawyer, and I looked over in my closet, and I still choke up today because there's that jacket, and I'm just like my dad, right? I was a liar, a cheater, a manipulator, and it hit me. I look at that jacket, and I thought my dad didn't get it. My dad gave me the best gift ever. Ever. He knew because he was trying to warn me in his own creepy, weird way. This is what life's about, son. And you are quantumly just like me. And I don't want you to be the richest man in the cemetery. I don't want you. Money cannot buy you love and happiness. You're not going to be buried with any of it. Just remember this jacket. And like, I obviously love my wife and I love my family. Imagine if I didn't have that jacket in my closet.
Thank you to your dad.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow, that's powerful.
It was awesome.
And also, we are all the same. We're all the same on this journey. We're just in different places on it. And we got to extend a hand and help the people out who aren't where we are and get a hand from the people who are ahead of us on the journey, because it's not better or worse. It's just in different places.
You got it. Every strength is a weakness. Every weakness is a strength if you move it to a different place.
And my dad passed away, and my mom, and I don't know what your relationship is with your dad right now.
He passed last year. So
that's an amazing thing that you have. That's an amazing memory to be able to hold on to.
Yeah. And shared with him before he left. So it was awesome.
Oh, you got to express it to him.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. All right. Thank you for sharing that. Of all the athletes and celebrities you have worked with, who was the least like you expected them to be like? And I'm almost done.
The least like me that I expected them to be
Who
like?
was the least
Yeah. So my favorite story, Dr. J. I was a ball boy for the San Diego Clippers when I was 12.
Oh.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was completely a jerk to me. I wanted to quit. My mom wouldn't let me quit. I went back and I went home crying. The next time I went in, I was terrified of Dr. J. I thought he'd be just like Kareem. No. He put his hand on my back. He gave me socks. He signed them. I thought every superhero was going to be like Kareem. And Dr. J, here's the funny thing. I ran the most notable sports agency in the world. People ask me all the time in interviews, who's the coolest athlete I've ever met? to this day, who'd have ever thought by being kind to his future self, by being nice to a 12-year-old, that he would have got so much PR and marketing of being the nicest, coolest, kindest, surprising person on earth. Kudos to Dr. J.
That's awesome, Dr. J. What is your number one tip? I know you're going to like this one, to sustain a happy and healthy marriage or relationship.
Oh my gosh. You got to look for the power, the superpower in your partner. It's the simplest thing to do, but when you're looking for the best in the person that you married because you love them, you're going to get more of the best. And when you get that best, you're just going to do more and more for that person. And it creates a cycle of positive energy and superpower between you. And you know, that love, appreciate. There's 4 things that people want in a relationship. This will be the 3rd time I told you. If you tell the people closest to you, 1, that you're happy, 2, that you're healthy, 3, that you love them, and 4, that you appreciate them, you've covered all the bases. That's people who love you and want the best for you. That's all you have to tell. That's like making a lot of money, helping a lot of people, and having a lot of fun. It says it all. Those 4 things, put that into every relationship that you have.
And I also like what you said at the beginning, which is basically, we all have flaws. Why are you going to focus on the flaws? We also all have strengths. So focus on the strengths and the things you love about the person, and you're going to get more of that if you focus on the flaws. I mean, that's such an important point. So I'm glad you said that. All of it was really great. We got like 3 more. Are you okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Your mission is to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. If you could wave a magic wand, what is the one universal thing that everyone could do that would increase happiness?
Help somebody. Give. That's easy.
All right. And we are almost at the end. Is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't?
What's my biggest flaw still today?
Okay.
Right? What am I afraid of? What's my biggest? And I will tell you, my biggest fear is still my children. Right? It's for me. It's only fear. Most things I get back to say. Money doesn't scare me at all. Like all this stuff going on economically, even my head, it goes away in like 2 seconds. But the relationship I have with my children, of how to empower my children without spoiling them, like all the issues with my children, that would be the only thing that keeps me up at night. And I have a mentor, my mom, luckily, who gives me advice. You know, everyone should have 3 mentors, people that sit in the situation you want to be in. And even with the greatest mentor, it's still the one thing that keeps me up at night is, you know, being a good father. Like that, it's a huge challenge. I always say, you know, every saint that ever has been anointed a saint didn't have 3 teenage daughters. I guarantee you that.
I have 2 boys and a girl, and I get what you're saying. So I think I just want to say that was pretty much the last question. One other thing, but what I want to say to that is, you're saying that already shows that you're a great dad. You're concerned, you're thinking about that, you staying up. That tells me everything I need to know about the kind of father you are. And I just want to let you know that.
Thank you.
So last question. What's the best way for the viewers to contact you other than following you at
David Meltzer? Just remember my name, David Meltzer. I do have a text number, a community that's super powerful. So you can text me. I do get back to everyone. Please, during this time, just be patient. I'd rather get back to you myself in a day or 2 than have a robot get back to you. So my text number is 949-298-2905. My website's dmeltzer.com. David Meltzer, you can find me everywhere through that. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. I hope to do this again. And
definitely when you're back in New York, I'm coming to visit you at Hudson Yards.
You got it. You're glowing, by the way, and thank you for impacting others. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Thanks so much for this interview.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.